What's good, everyone? This is Dev the Coolest.
And this is Ray Ray.
And this is JB.
And
welcome to
Slick Talk.
Slick Talk.
What the hell?
We were all looking at each other.
Well, because last time he was going to say Jay Bizzle.
Nah.
Welcome to Slick Talk. Hashtag Slick Talk. It's lit.
We messed that up this year.
Welcome to Slick Talk. Hashtag Slick Talk. It's lit. Coming through the block. I'm here with the Coolest. And Ray Bay, and he don't play.
Bye.
Oh, okay.
I can't start a whole rap career right now.
Nah, I can't even.
I mean, we're in the studio. Let us know.
Right, we in the studio.
We'll
like,
give
We
you
are in the
rest of
studio, right? I forgot. Let me see. Let me pull out some pre-written lyrics like Cardi B be doing. Anyways, go ahead.
Always a
The
shade. Always a
for
shade.
no reason.
I wouldn't be me if it
But
didn't
what's
get a
going
little
on,
shady.
y'all?
Kitty shady.
I'm glad that we started off on a lighter note because this topic is not light at all.
Heavy.
Right. So today we're gonna talk about the pretty much human trafficking, and this is something that a lot of people are becoming more aware of because of social media and what some people have posted and their experiences and people warning others of like, this is the experience I just had. However, this is something that is so prevalent in the United States is insane.
Yeah.
And I think it's
Black women are missing.
exactly. And the thing is, the news doesn't talk about it
At all.
We talk about it on social media, but the news doesn't cover it at all, and which makes me believe that the government is involved. But that's my. I'm a
straightforward.
I'm a conspiracy theorist. Yes, you can say that, but I just feel like every time that somebody older has been telling me something for a minute, and I'm like, you crazy, and evidence of it comes out now that I'm older, I'm like, oh shit, this is really a thing.
75,000 black women are
Yes.
missing. That shit
Yes.
is crazy. 75,000?
Insane.
Yeah.
75,000. Some people can't even book that for a concert.
Right. Sierra can't no more.
Okay,
I'm
let's
sorry.
take this
We're keeping it
seriously.
What?
No, we sorry because you said some people can't be there at the concert. So no, but on a definitely a serious note,
I gotta add a little.
Yeah. No, but I'm happy that we're having this conversation
Yeah.
though, because it's really important. So I think what we want to get out of this conversation and this discussion is to bring awareness to what's going on, where it's probably happening the most.
Yeah.
Because I guess
some preventative measures.
and some preventative measures that everyone can do. It happens most to black women. But I think, it can happen to anyone.
Yeah, I mean, so sorry, this is like heavy. I've seen some videos online that are to me in a way great to see, but also disturbing. I've seen the video where the woman was talking about her cousin almost got taken. I've seen the video of where there's a woman who was being followed and all the way around a store. The guy literally followed her, and how she was shaking and scared. I mean, she was shaking and scared.
That's the same as the cousin one, right?
Is it
or
the cousin?
That different? That's the. I know. I mean, there's so many stories, but I know of that. I heard about that one too.
And also, I seen a video of a teenager. I want to say she probably around in her teenage years. She was showing how you can get out of zip ties with your laces.
Oh,
and I'm just like,
I mean, it's good to know, but it's
good
crazy
to know
that we have to have that conversation.
That women have to think about that, and I've taken it upon myself to really realize the privilege that I have to be male. To not even think about that somebody's going to snatch me up.
Right.
I think about somebody can kill me. The cops can shoot me for thinking I'm a criminal, but I don't think about somebody taking me away. Yeah. And women have to think about that all the time. And like literally.
In addition to other stuff.
And in addition to other stuff, like just not feeling safe. And now there is a truth that you really are not. Yeah. And I don't know. It was just really, really heavy.
I just don't understand why people still have white vans. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are they still a thing? Yeah. Given what's the stigma or the situation associated with white vans. Yeah. I have one parked outside my apartment all the time, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, it could be very well a work van, but it's like, paint it a different color or something. I don't know.
It's funny. I had a roommate that was walking the dog, and she was like, there was a white van following her the whole time, and she was creeped out.
Right. Yeah. She
was very smart in knowing how to cut the corner and come back to the house, but most of my roommate identify as women.
Mm-hmm.
And not just that, I have a whole lot of nieces, and I don't want to put it on the fact that I'm scared because of my family per se, but I'm just scared for women in general.
Right. No, yeah. I mean, that's a part of it. Like, I had to have a conversation with my sister. Like, I was like, girl, we're going to get you some mace. We're going to get you something.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy out here.
Yeah.
And, it's unfortunate that it isn't, like you said, talked about in the news media more, or it does get talked about online and everything.
Right.
But I feel like there's tons and tons of like women and just people in general that still aren't taking it serious.
Right.
Therefore, they're still becoming
victims
to what's going on. And I also think it's very necessary to bring to light that this isn't just an issue that happens with people that are following women in white vans and that are kidnapping them and then using them in sex trafficking them, but this is also situations where you have attractive men hitting on regular women,
right?
And seducing them and then getting them wrapped up around their fingers and then convincing them to do one thing, and then one thing leads to the other and then the other leads to another thing. So that's also how human trafficking works as well, and it's very important to tell the signs, to be able to see the signs of that happening, and to do your research and stuff, because people everybody doesn't have good intentions.
Not at all.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the signs that people should look out for?
I think our society has, in a way, cultured this to be normal, like the way you meet someone, or the way a man can be too aggressive or just aggressive in general, and you think that it's okay.
Right.
I think aggression, I think that one thing is the way they approach you, because it's not even something that happens at night anymore. It's like daytime. The two cases I've seen people talked about, it was during the day.
Right.
I think another thing that we need to be aware of is us turning a blind eye to see when we see a situation that is, in a way, you think is domestic. I've seen a lot of people in public do that. Like a couple could have or somebody we perceive to be a couple can be having like this blowout right there. Everybody just turns and like, okay, this is not my business.
Right.
But we
pull
really
out their phone and record.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think we need to treat the situation just like we treat like when we see people like that are being arrested by cops. Stay there, pull out your phone, record, make sure you have evidence. Even if you can't get involved, just you have evidence of like something's going on. There is a chance that yes, somebody could be like attacking you, but like for me, the worst thing I can think of is to sit there helpless as somebody else is being taken. You know.
I mean, to your question, the signs. I don't know if there are any signs. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's pursuing you in dating. You assume good intent.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, okay, you're pursuing me to date. Like, you like me. I like you. We're dating. Like, I don't want to instill fear in dating. Yeah. But
well, I mean,
also
I'm not necessarily talking about like the aspect and the act of dating. I'm talking about when you're starting.
Right. Or on one side it's dating, but the other side there's an agenda to get you into some shit.
Or even just in a relationship.
Or in the relationship,
like there's signs that happen. Like somebody can be dating in the beginning and everything be cool, and then they're in a relationship, and then signs start coming.
That's what I mean. Like you don't expect that, so it's like I don't know any signs, but boundaries are important.
Yes,
and knowing yourself and trusting your gut.
Yeah,
your gut is like your intuition is a real thing.
Yeah,
like if you feel iffy about something, trust that.
Yeah. There's, I mean. You're right about that. Intuition is very real, and like we said, boundaries is something that I think is the number one thing people should have, is to have clear boundaries when somebody is stepping up to you. What are you comfortable with?
Sorry, you're standing too close. Yeah.
People, when people want to snatch you up, I believe that they're impatient in doing it, so they want to do it quickly and make sure you have no evidence of it. So if somebody's being too forceful, or somebody's trying to get past your boundary right away, which sometimes it could be like toxic masculine behavior in the regular, but that's the number one reason I think people should really just like be very firm. I'm like, no,
Right.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right to me. I don't want to go through with it.
But when I say signs, the things that come to mind that I feel, and I guess it could just be somebody that's toxic or just a bad relationship in general. But I would just think that somebody that's controlling, you know, if you're in a situation, you're dating somebody or you're in a relationship with somebody and you start to notice that they can be a little bit too controlling, that's a sign. Doesn't necessarily mean you need to act on it or run away or be scared.
Just remember it.
But the fact that somebody is controlling is kind of like, you know, it's a red flag. Right. The fact that somebody can be demeaning towards you, you know what I'm saying, not really be respectful towards your boundaries like you guys were talking about, and then also somebody that's physically abusive. You know what I'm saying? Like,
somebody grabs your arm or something, like,
absolutely.
Don't take that lightly.
Yeah, so those things right there, obviously they can be just a collective of toxic masculinity or just, you know, toxic behavior in a relationship, but those also can lead to somebody eventually getting to the point where he's like, hey, can you do me this favor? You know, can you do this? Can you know, go here? Or can you do this for me and everything like that? And I do agree with Devry. Like, you don't want to be necessarily scared with, you know, these men that are courting you or, you know, these women, you know, because women are actually even taking part in trafficking as well, which is staggering to the fact that you wouldn't believe that a woman would do.
Not amazing,
you know.
Like, it's like amazing. Well, that's not the word I'm trying to use. It's like baffling.
Baffling.
Yeah.
But you definitely wouldn't believe that a woman would be able to participate in something like this towards another woman. But everybody out there, gender does not play a role in people being fucked up. Everybody's fucked up, either man, woman, or they don't identify at all. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, period. That's crazy. What it boils down to.
I think one thing I really find baffling is that black men are doing it to black women as well.
Yes.
I mean,
that is
not baffling to me. I mean it's realistic. Black men were giving black women to slave masters and selling them off and having them sleep and get pregnant and stuff back. And black men have been trash for a long time. Not saying everybody, not all black men are not trash, but they have been doing trash behavior for so long since the beginning when we first came to America towards black women. Yeah. So I'm not completely surprised, disappointed, yes.
Yeah.
You know, and but I'm not surprised.
I think that's the word I was looking for, because of course, the way the value system that people are under right now, I could see that happening, but it's just like, man, like, we can't help but still feel like other people within our racial identity somehow we feel responsible for them.
Yeah.
But that really, I mean, it hurts.
Yeah, it definitely does.
And I can see how, especially for black women, like how much it hurts.
Yeah.
Like
it's like, dang, we try. Who can we look toward?
Right.
Like, who can we look to?
And
you know, and trust.
Listening to sis on the video talking about, like, where are our men? Like, it was just like, wow, this is heartbreaking.
And then I just want to acknowledge, you know, I think the stigma against sex workers and like people that are in strip clubs and everything like that and dancers is starting to slowly diminish because of the culture that we're living in general in America. But I feel like, I think I've seen a research or a study that those type of workers and people that, you know, sex workers and dancers and everything are subjected to human trafficking the most, you know, because they're already in a position where they're being introduced to a lot of different people, so it's easy for them to kind of like fall into the trap of like going down that rabbit hole.
You go into people's cars and, you know, depending on the type of sex work you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
The other thing is, a lot of times they're looking for people that are ostracized from their own family. So there could be a negative stigma, like especially when you come from a very religious family, that can disown you in a way for practicing, you know, for being in that type of work. So if somebody snatches you up and they don't hear from you for like 2-3 weeks, it's a normal thing for them. So always have
people that are on drugs.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's really crazy because it's like, in our community, what we can speak to specifically is that there's a lot, and we need to have a whole conversation about this, a whole episode, but there's a lot of people in our community that are really getting high and doing drugs on like crystal meth.
What do you mean by our community?
Our black gay community.
Okay.
Yeah. I've seen it's like a huge rising in our black gay community of like men specifically doing crystal meth and having sex and everything like that. And unbeknownst probably to them that we can even be subjected to that type of behavior, that type of I guess you can say, situation, human trafficking. We can be human trafficked as well, especially when we don't have the means and capabilities of defending ourselves. Yeah. So it's probably rare, but it could.
But it can happen. But it can definitely happen. And it has happened.
And it's the same thing applies to women that are under the influence and that are on, worse drugs or something. Right.
Yeah. So what should people do if, God forbid, they were to get like snatched up or somebody tried to?
If you are in an open carry state, arm yourself. That's one for sure. If you are in a state where it's illegal to have a gun, there are other things you can have. You may look into a taser, look into mace. There are also, I've seen like little booths where people have gadgets that look like regular products. Like you think it's a comb, but it's really like a weapon. Razor. So load up on that stuff, because as much you would want somebody to be around to help you out, you'll be shocked at how people can freeze up in a situation where it comes to help defend you. So arm yourself. Self-defense classes is something that people should really look into. And that's
I just would say that I just think that everyone should just need to be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, and also
be aware of who you're at. Be aware of where you're at, who you're with. You know what I'm saying? When you're going out to these places or clubs or like events, make sure that you're around. If you're going to get intoxicated, make sure that you're around people that you trust. Make sure that instead of it's all things that you would think would be common sense to some people, but a lot of people believe that situations like this won't happen to them. So it's really important that anyone believes that anything can happen to them at any time, and you take the proper procedures and proper procedures or protocol to protect yourself. Anyways,
if you were to get snatched up, like, and somebody's trying to put you in a van, drop as many items as you can in that area. Don't drop your phone. You may want to keep your phone for tracking purposes, but like, so it's easier for police to identify where it happened. They can maybe get a trail to the situation. So if you have like keys or candy or something like that, drop that.
And also let people know where you're going, where you're at. If you have a friend you want to, have like a phone tracking thing together, that's a good share location.
I actually have a few friends I have that with.
Oh, also just if you're gonna go somewhere on a date with somebody, it's like, hey,
this is where we're going. This is where we're going. I always send. Listen, and I haven't had a hookup in a while, but in the days that I did hook up, like I'd be like, I'm going to this address. This is the address I'm going to be at. This is where I'm going. So that's an amazing point.
Also, just make sure that somebody, like, you are aware of somebody, like your family and your friends, where they are, and somebody knows where you at.
Exactly.
One thing I would definitely
we gotta end that.
Want to talk about too.
This is the episode wrapped up.
No, I just wanted to say a quick thing because I might have sounded crazy in the beginning, but fun fact: the human trafficking is a $150 billion industry.
Damn.
Yes.
I didn't know that at all.
You can just
$150 billion.
You can just Google it. To know that, and also know the fact that all of this is happening.
It's not funny.
But I'm like, damn.
Okay, now I understand a little bit. But I don't agree, obviously. But I understand why people. It's greed. Money is the root of evil.
Okay. Exactly.
So if it's that much money,
to know that one, it's very profitable.
Well, what is it like? Are they selling organs and stuff? Like, what is it? Or is they selling sex?
Actually, sadly, all of it. Sex, organ trafficking. If somebody. It's even children too. It's terrible.
$150 billion.
$150 billion. And also, we're in California, which is connected to every major figure in this country. So, you are more likely to be, if they take you from California, like, that could be in another state, like, right away. Without stopping, without anybody knowing.
That's deep.
Be very careful about that. And for me, those things, and also knowing that the government is not saying shit about it, or not saying they can do anything about it, and also like the news not even reporting it. I just feel like this sounds all shady.
It's up to us.
So it is really up to us. But
this was a great conversation.
Yeah, it was. This has been a great episode.
And and it's very informative. It's very serious. Y'all just stay aware of your surroundings.
Period. Dev want to beat me so bad. He want to beat me so bad.
Well, on that note,
anyways,
thank you for listening to another episode of Slick Talk.
Yes, we'll see y'all next week.
Definitely.
Yes. And let's not make this one awkward. Bye.
Bye.
I love y'all. Bye. This episode of Slick Talk was brought to you in part by Nexus Recording Studio, where the Bay records. Are you looking to do your own podcast, your own EP, your own mixtape? Check them out. It's in Oakland, California. That's where we record. And it's amazing. And it's amazing. And it's amazing.